Happy Monday, guys. Josie here, birthday girl, and Carissa.
Hey.
Coming to you with some real conversations today. So it's our Real Estate Unfiltered talk, our episode 10. We're in double digits now, but it's been a heavy several days, and we feel like we'd be remiss to not just come on and address that, but also in the sense of helping people shift their energy, shift their minds, right? And how can you turn all the heaviness that might be happening around you into something positive, right? And so, obviously on the political front, like we're not going to get into politics, and yet everything happening, out in Minneapolis, like it's crushing, right? You just feel for the people out there, and not just in Portland, all over, right? And yet, what do you feel like you can do? And then on the weather front, I don't know, half the country got smashed with like ice storms, snowstorms, blizzards, like my mom is in Georgia where Carissa is, and my sister, she's like, I haven't gone outside, it's too cold, but she sent me a picture and she's like, it didn't look too bad. I'm like, I could see across the driveway, like the house across the street. I was like, their driveway is like a sheet of ice. And she's like, oh, I couldn't even see. I'm like, I zoomed in because I was like, why does the driveway look weird? And I'm like, so that's what George is dealing with. Like, it's just a sheet of ice everywhere. And here, like, I got blizzard of snow outside. I'm not going outside either. So essentially the consensus I feel like is a lot of people are just not okay, whether it was because of the weather, whether it was because of, all the other political stuff happening, like they're just not okay. And so this is the perfect time though, and you're probably not okay, and we're not fully okay, right? And yet we can do something about that, right? Being in the real estate space, like doing a care call is just something that is talked about. It's not about real estate, but it's just checking in on your people. And so, how are you going out of your way to check in on your people, right?
Right. And I mean, it's just that it humanizes you, right? It's not real estate. It's not like, hey, this is going on, let me move you, right? It's nothing about real estate. It is literally just being a human. And we talked about this, and I can't remember because Josie and I have this going on. We have masterminds going on. So I don't remember where I talk about stuff sometimes, but we had said I think it was our 20, crushing your goals in 2026 and things to kind of concentrate on that we can control. And it was like that human to human interaction. So I feel that most of us, not most of us, some of us have replaced some of our human contact with AI. Okay. And that's not what people want. They want that human touch, figuratively and literally. Okay. There is known studies done that even a hug like does something to someone's endorphins. Well, we can't hug people through the phone. Okay. And it would be kind of creepy if you drove to their house to hug them, just saying. But send them virtual hugs, right? Like whether that's, just saying that, like, listen, I'm just sending virtual hugs. You can do a mass text with that. I'm sending virtual hugs to all my people because we're going through a lot right now, all of us, because we are a team. Whether it's like Josie said, weather, what's going on politically throughout our country, it's heavy. It's very heavy, and not a lot of people want to talk about it because it's so heavy. Or just the fact that it's the end of January and it's been the longest freaking month ever. It's like 987 days of January. Okay. It's gone by fast, but it's been a lot of days. Okay.
For
Let's just be
sure.
honest.
Yeah, I said that week one. I was like, if you saw my post, cheers to everyone for making it through the first month. I mean, week of 2026, because
Seriously.
yeah, I
And
agree.
yes, and I don't think you realize how much control you do have when you feel out of control. And the control you do have is doing what Josie said, is just reaching out. Literally, they don't know that you're sending out a generic message if you are just sending a virtual hug or, hey, just checking on you. Hey, if you're in one of the states that is frozen over like a tundra, like, are you all good? Like, did you keep power? When COVID happened, that's one of the things that we did at a high level was just reach out to our people. And if we could help, we did. Like, what do you need? You need toilet paper, you need this, you need that. If I can throw it on their porch and run, great. If I can't, I'll tell you I can't. But if
Yeah.
there's something I can do that can help, let me know.
Yeah, we did a lot of that during COVID. I remember literally my ex and I we'd get up at like I don't know, six something. So we'd be in line at Walmart as soon as they opened before
Hmm.
7. And there would be a long line of people. By 6:45, we would try to get there and we would never be first in line. Like we'd be like fifth or 10th sometimes. But that way we could just buy some of the supplies. But then it's not like we were hoarding it. We were bringing it to clients when they would say that they needed it. Sometimes it was just, oh my God, I can't find bleach anywhere. I can't find, wipes or whatever the case is. And so we're not necessarily saying do that unless there is someone who truly has a need. Maybe they're snowed in, maybe they can't get out, maybe you have, better truck where you can just drop something off for them or you can Uber. Like that is not even something that we would have thought of back in the day. I mean, but now if someone needed to, like I can DoorDash you, groceries or something to that effect, right? And I want to say don't like what Carissa said, like the text, you could do a generic text just saying, "Hey, just checking in on you. Like, how did you fare through the storm this weekend?" Like, you can copy and paste that to 50 people, right? And then like do the same thing tomorrow, and then just kind of get through it that way, and then just wait for the replies to come in, and then just engage in deeper conversations, right? Or doing a video text. So, right, like it's my birthday, I'm getting tons of messages. Um, a few video texts, not as many as just text messages or DMs and things like that. And yet one of them, someone who I don't even connect with all the time, like we know each other, we hug each other, but she left me one of the most heartfelt video messages, and it was 45 seconds maybe. Um, like imagine just being able to do that, right? Like a personalized just video message that you can text or you can DM if, Android, iPhone doesn't always mesh well together trying to send a video. And just being able to take that extra time, like how long is it going to take you to actually dial the phone, right? And leave a voicemail. So if you could just do a genuine like 30-second, 45-second text and then just text it to them, like, do you know the kind of impact that has? They remember your face, they remember your voice. Like that's going to stand out so much more than just like the hey, how are you text is great. It's better than nothing, but putting that extra effort in that personal touch, right? This is why we're saying like how are you reaching out to your people? And then Carissa was making a great point earlier about like it's okay to not be okay, right? It's okay like sometimes you just get up in the morning and you're just in a funk, right?
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
is a way maybe to help get you out of that funk and then just to kind of get you into some kind of positive moving momentum, right? Like by us pouring into other people is usually a proven way where we can help kind of get out of our own heads.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to call your fellow agent friends as well because they need love too. And while you might not think that that is a touch that you should be making regularly, Josie and I talk about it all the time, is that is a nurture because guess where your referrals come from? If they know you're a human and you take care of your people, they're going to send you people. And I'm not saying to do this for the referral or do this just because you can get something out of it. But again, we are in the relationship business and we just so happen to sell homes. If we put that first and foremost, our industry would be so much better. Like hands down so much better. But I think we get caught up in what do I get out of this all the time? And sometimes you just have to show up. It's, my word, I will keep saying this, my word for this year is value. And it's not so much about, tit for tat, like, hey, what are you going to give me so I can give you this? But when you genuinely show up for people, if you remove the stigma of, oh, they're going to suck me dry, they're going to take advantage of me, they're going to do this, and you go into it genuinely for the reason of providing value to someone, okay, you can't dedicate your whole day. You can't just give away, all these free hours because that's money. But if you designate so many appointments a week that you are meeting with people, eventually, guys, it does come back because they do see the value in you. And when you provide that, it always comes back. Always.
Absolutely. And so other ways that you can kind of show up and check in on your people, right? Because that's what today's kind of vlogcast, as we decided to call it, is about, right? Is just how can you check in on your people? And so, like before the storm, I saw tons of posts with like not winter maintenance issues, but those reminders of like take care of your pipes and your hoses and all those things that to us as realtors maybe it's common sense, and yet to other people, homeowners, renters, like they might not be thinking of those things. And so if you didn't, it's not too late, especially in Connecticut as well. be one of the coldest weeks. So if we're supposed to get a really cold week, I know other parts of the country are also expecting that. Like Arctic front, I think is the term I've been hearing, right? And so still sending those reminders. It's not too late to say, hey, hope you made it through like the weekend storm or whatnot, okay? And just some reminders for the week ahead. Like I was talking to my landlord this morning and I gave him a heads up. I'm like, hey, I don't know if you realize, like, this is supposed to be like a super cold week. So just some extra tips, of things to do to help protect the home, right? So then there's that's the idea. There's tons of those all over the place. I think I posted one of the pet graphics in our community over the weekend in our Facebook group, and yet you could chat GPT. A bunch of people had their chat GPT prompts where you could do that and create like if you want a more personalized like image or whatever, just some quick kind of winter storm help tips or like with the extreme cold, right? So that's kind of one option. You can put that on your socials. You can email it to your database. You can text that to your database even if you don't really know what else to say, then hey, just like, hey, just some helpful reminders as we're going into another cold, final week of January. Um, the video text, like I said, just sending a regular text, like Carissa said, doing an actual phone call. We're not saying don't make calls. Like you can just pick up the phone and actually call them. But the idea is that we understand that right now a lot of people's hearts and minds just aren't there, right? And so what we really want to encourage and help you guys remember though is that like especially on a day like today, a lot of people are home. School's canceled in a lot of different states, right? Because of the aftermath of the storms and might be tomorrow too for certain areas, right? And so people are home today. They're probably looking forward to talking to somebody. And so it's a great day to either call or text or just send them the social DM, like whatever's more natural to you, but reach out to your people. Take an hour, right? Or take 15 minutes, take a break, and another 15 minutes, right? It doesn't have to be an hour straight. Like whatever it is that you can muster up to do. And I guarantee you that by doing that, you will make someone's day and you will be surprised by the responses that you get. So really want to hammer home that that is the goal of what we're trying to relay to you guys.
Absolutely. And that is free. Free.
Exactly.
I mean, we hear every excuse why people don't do what they need to do, and it usually revolves around money or time. However, if you are good with your time blocking, which we've talked about in many different meetings that we've had, you can time block, like Josie said, just do, 50 today, 50 tomorrow, whatever that looks like for you. You can do while you're sitting on the couch watching TV if you're doing text messages or DMs on social media, but ultimately it's free and you have no excuse not to do it unless your power's out and you're trying to save your battery. But like if you're watching this right now, most likely you're not. So
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. And then the other tip on the political side. So if you're someone who's passionate and trying to bring that to light, right? But can you share a resource beyond just the conversation? Like I saw a post with, like senators, contact information, stuff like that. Like, can you add value in a sense if you know the person that you're messaging with is like-minded in that sense? Because we're not saying go start arguments via text or anything like that. But, being able to just like with the winter tips, some people don't get those tips either, right? And they might not think, oh, I can call my senator or I can, do whatever to try to make a difference. And so as one person, you can make a difference to just check in on someone, give them a potential resource, give them potential information, right? To just let them know that you care about them above and beyond just a transaction, right? Again, we're saying this is literally not about real estate. You're still their realtor, you're still their realtor resource, and yet we have to care about our people in their everyday lives and with the weather and the politics and all the things, right? Um, Not just when we're trying to get a referral or to close a deal or something of that nature.
I agree 100%.
Yeah. Anything you want to add to close us out?
No, actually, the only thing I would like to add, just to reiterate about it's okay to not be okay. So when you do speak with people and they come back and you don't know what to do with it, that's okay too. Just create that space for them, and that's all you need. Most people just want to even talk, vent, say something. They just want to be heard. And I've realized that being the broker of a very large brokerage, I mean, I think we just hit like 954 agents.
Okay.
Most of my de-escalations are just because I listen and I hear them. And so that's all you need to do. Sometimes you don't need to provide advice because you're not a psychiatrist, psychologist. You are not a politician that is making the changes. But if you just hear them, like, oh, you know what, Josie, I completely see where you're coming from. And even if you don't, there's probably some way for you to see where they're coming from as a human. And that's really where you break barriers. I think John Maxwell said it in one of his books where it's like, what is it? It's on my list because I have to reread it. But he says something about like the difference between what like successful people do as opposed to non-successful people is successful people actually listen to hear, right? And when they hear what the person's saying, even if they don't agree with them, they can visualize themselves in their position. And then once you make that connection, you're connected because they're like, you know what? She might not agree with me, but she heard me. So that's really what I wanted to just make sure. Like, let people be heard, you be heard, and know it's okay to not be okay. Because I could have totally utilized the call or text this morning from somebody. So if you're my old realtor from 11 years ago, please send me a wellness checkup because I haven't gotten one.
You're like, I'm not okay. I'm not okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but seriously, because you don't know what someone's going through. And
you
this
don't.
morning, for no reason, was a little rough for me getting out of bed. And I'm not saying I'm always sunshines and rainbows, but I was not. And I was like, what the heck am I doing? I felt like I was in Groundhog's Day for real. I was like, this is something's got to give.
Right. You know, the
Um,
reality, and I think people don't always realize that and give enough credit to that, is that your environment truly can impact your mindset and just how you're feeling, right? You might be thinking like, "Oh, I'm not tuning into all the politics. I don't want to be it's too depressing. Like, I don't watch the news." People say that I really don't watch the news because it's too depressing. I will see what happens at some point. Someone will message me, right? But I will not put on like ABC News or whatever. And that stuff can weigh you down. And so when you wake up all of a sudden you're like in a funk, it's probably because all of the negative noise that's just in your circumference that you don't realize. And we just absorb that. And so again, that's why we're saying like check on your people because they're probably not okay. And I shared a prayer this morning on my page, prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi, because that's just what was on my heart all weekend. Not everybody's Catholic, not everybody's Christian. That's fine. I can still say a prayer for you. You can, receive it or not. And yet that's just was one of my ways to kind of be like, hey, let's focus on something different, right? And that's the best that we can do. All we can do is just try to be a light in a negative space.
yep, be human.
Yeah. Well, with that said, thank you for watching. We're gonna let you guys go, and we will be back next Monday.
Same time, different date, different subject. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.